Have you ever looked back over your journey and reflected? I dedicated myself. I gave my utmost. So why does financial stability still feel like a persistent burden? You're not an isolated case. Millions of seasoned Americans are silently pondering the same query. The reality is, it's not always about your gross income. Sometimes, it's about what gradually diminishes your assets, stealthily and without much fanfare. These are the subtle, incremental decisions, the ingrained everyday practices, and the common elements we've been conditioned to believe are entirely standard or even financially astute, but in truth are insidiously eroding our fiscal well-being. And that precisely is the core of this entire presentation, the very essence of what we are about to delve into today. This isn't a compilation of sophisticated investment tactics that require a Wall Street degree or convoluted economic terminology that only seasoned professionals can decipher. This is, at its heart, a straightforward, heartfelt dialogue, one that I personally, sincerely wish anyone had initiated with me 2 or 3 decades prior, back when I was navigating my early career and making the fundamental choices that shaped my financial trajectory. Today, my objective is to meticulously navigate with you through 10 distinct fiscal pitfalls, common, remarkably prevalent, everyday occurrences that a significant number of us inadvertently encounter, especially as we advance in years and approach or enter our senior chapters. These aren't merely accidental missteps or isolated blunders. On the contrary, they are systemic patterns, deeply ingrained behaviors, and subtle environmental influences, and they possess the formidable capacity to relentlessly deprive us of the profound tranquility and the hard-earned assurance we've meticulously cultivated throughout our working lives. But here's the truly encouraging news, the silver lining in this narrative. You possess the inherent ability to halt this depletion. You can decisively alter your current trajectory, regardless of your precise starting point or the extent of your past financial challenges. If you find yourself in your 5th decade, your 6th, or even your 7th, understand this unequivocally. This moment, right now, is still your opportune moment. The profound insight and accumulated wisdom you possess today are far more formidable and potent than you perceive. And by making just a handful of more judicious, thoughtfully considered selections, you can effectively safeguard your fiscal prospects, significantly mitigate unnecessary strain, and ultimately bequeath something truly significant, something that resonates with enduring value, not solely for your personal benefit, but crucially for the cherished individuals whom you deeply love and care for. So let's take a profound, cleansing inhalation. Consciously release any lingering culpability or pervasive regret at the threshold of this discussion, and collectively traverse these 10 pervasive wealth eroders, approaching each one calmly, with absolute clarity and with unwavering conviction. Let's decisively commence this crucial journey together. 1. The acquisition of new vehicles. Permit me a straightforward query. Have you ever gone through the thrilling process of procuring a brand new automobile, literally fresh from the assembly line, and experienced that immediate, exhilarating surge of profound gratification? The pristine, untouched upholstery, the unmistakable, intoxicating aroma of a new car, the undeniable, admiring glances from envious neighbors. It's undeniably gratifying, isn't it? A tangible symbol of accomplishment. You earned it, you tell yourself. You unequivocally merit something of such high quality. But here's the stark, uncomfortable truth that most individuals are never fully informed about, a financial reality that often remains unsaid. In the very instant you confidently propel that pristine vehicle off the dealership's premises, having just completed the transaction, its valuation has already dramatically diminished by an astonishing amount, often up to 20 to 30% of its initial purchase price. And the rapid depreciation continues relentlessly in the initial years of ownership. Within the very first year alone, it can, and often does, lose another 15 to 20% of its value. So, in essence, within a remarkably short span of time, you're losing nearly half the value of that expensive vehicle. This phenomenon of rapid value decline, often termed drive-off depreciation and first-year depreciation, represents a significant and often overlooked drain on personal finances, especially when considering that the average new car transaction price in the U.S. soared to over $48,000 in early 2024, a record high. Instead of this financially destructive habit, consider the profoundly more prudent alternative: pre-owned vehicles. Specifically, those that are a few years old, typically 3 to 5 years, which have already absorbed the steepest, most impactful depreciation. You can often locate a highly reliable model with excellent features for significantly less, saving you tens of thousands of dollars. The substantial money saved could be wisely invested in growth assets or strategically utilized to pay down high-interest consumer debt, effectively positioning you on a much stronger and more secure financial footing for your future. 2. Carrying high-interest consumer debt. Imagine for a moment that you've got a balance on a credit card or perhaps a personal loan that comes with an exceptionally steep annual percentage rate, something perhaps as high as 18% or even a staggering 24%. It might initially seem perfectly manageable, especially if your current strategy involves merely making the minimum required payments each month. But here's the insidious, often overlooked reality: that high interest is relentlessly compounding, constantly increasing the total amount you owe, seemingly without end. It's akin to diligently trying to fill a bucket with water, only to discover it has a substantial, gaping hole in the bottom. No matter how diligently or generously you pour water into it, a significant, disheartening portion is continuously leaking out through those burdensome interest charges. Many Americans, unfortunately, find themselves firmly ensnared in this persistent cycle of consumer debt, with the average credit card debt per household hovering distressingly around $7,000 to $8,000 as of late 2023, a figure that continues to climb. This isn't simply about the monetary cost. It's profoundly about your peace of mind and your future security. Every single dollar you are sending to a high-interest lender is a precious dollar that cannot be productively invested in your future, diligently saved for unforeseen emergencies, or simply enjoyed in a way that genuinely enhances your quality of life. The most effective and liberating strategy is to tackle these debts with extreme aggression. Prioritize paying off the balance with the highest interest rate first, often referred to as the debt avalanche method, or alternatively, the debt snowball method, focusing on smaller debts first for psychological wins. Even making small, consistent extra payments beyond the minimum required can make a truly substantial difference over time, ultimately freeing up your vital cash flow for far more productive and enriching uses in your life. 3. Neglecting preventive health. This might, at first glance, seem like an unconventional topic to include in a comprehensive discussion on personal finances, but it is, in reality, profoundly and intrinsically interconnected. Consider, for a sobering moment, the potentially catastrophic cost of a major health crisis, especially as one ages. prolonged hospital stays, highly specialized and often experimental treatments, and extensive long-term recovery periods. These can, with alarming speed, decimate even the most substantial and carefully accumulated savings. For instance, a typical inpatient hospital stay in the U.S. can easily cost tens of thousands of dollars, and chronic conditions such as unmanaged diabetes or severe heart disease, if left unchecked, can lead to astronomical medical bills reaching into the tens of thousands annually, year after year. The distressing reality is that a significant number of health issues are either entirely preventable or, at the very least, highly manageable with early detection and consistently applied care. Regular comprehensive checkups, appropriate age-based screenings, a balanced and nutritious dietary regimen, and consistent, moderate physical activity aren't solely about feeling better physically. They are, in fact, absolutely vital financial safeguards. Think of prioritizing your health as a direct, essential investment in your long-term longevity and your crucial fiscal stability. A comparatively modest expenditure on a gym membership, a healthy cooking class, or quality, nutritious groceries now can decisively prevent a much larger and financially devastating outlay in healthcare costs later in life. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, continuously highlights the immense economic burden of chronic diseases, which account for a truly significant portion of healthcare spending in the U.S., often exceeding 90% of all healthcare expenditures. Therefore, taking proactive, consistent steps to maintain your overall well-being is undeniably one of the wisest and most impactful financial decisions you can ever make. For excessive and recurring subscriptions, take a genuine moment to introspectively consider the sheer number of monthly subscriptions you might currently have active. There are the omnipresent streaming services for movies and shows, countless music platforms, convenient but costly meal kit deliveries, specialized productivity apps, bespoke fitness programs, even online publications and digital newsletters. Each one of these, when viewed individually, seems like a negligible or minor expense, perhaps just $10 here, $20 there. But collectively, these seemingly small amounts can quietly, almost imperceptibly, accumulate into a truly substantial and often surprising drain on your monthly household budget. In fact, various studies and financial analyses consistently show that the average American household now spends well over $200 per month on a diverse array of subscription services, a figure that is constantly rising. This isn't to say that all subscriptions are inherently wasteful or without value. Some, undoubtedly, provide significant entertainment, educational value, or genuine convenience that enhances your life. The core issue arises when we subscribe to a service and then rarely, if ever, utilize it, or when we possess multiple subscriptions that offer highly similar content or functionalities, leading to redundancy. It's a classic textbook case of death by 1,000 cuts, small, seemingly insignificant expenditures that collectively inflict considerable financial harm. The solution, thankfully, is straightforward and empowering. Conduct a thorough monthly or at least quarterly audit of all your active subscriptions. Rigorously identify those you rarely use, those that no longer bring you joy or value, or those you can realistically live without. Then decisively cancel them. Even liberating just $50 or $100 per month from these unnecessary expenditures can free up a substantial $600 to $1,200 annually, which can then be intelligently redirected towards vital debt reduction, bolstering your emergency savings, or making strategic investments for your future. It's fundamentally about being deliberate, conscious, and highly intentional with every single one of your recurring expenditures. 5. Unoptimized home utilities. Your residence, while undeniably a valuable and cherished asset, can also, if not managed with acute efficiency, become a very significant and continuous source of recurring expenses. Think critically about your daily consumption of electricity, your heating and cooling demands, and your water usage. Are your windows adequately sealed and well insulated against the elements? Is your home's thermostat programmed intelligently and effectively to minimize energy waste during periods of absence or sleep? Do you possess outdated, energy inefficient appliances that guzzle excessive amounts of power unnecessarily? Many older homes, for example, especially those built before modern energy standards, might inherently possess inefficient HVAC systems, inadequate insulation in walls and attics, or leaky windows, all of which directly lead to significantly higher utility bills each month. According to data from the U.S. Energy Information Administration, residential energy consumption accounts for a truly substantial portion of typical household expenses, often representing one of the largest ongoing costs after housing and transportation. Taking proactive steps to significantly enhance your home's overall energy efficiency can lead to truly considerable and lasting long-term savings. This could involve simple, cost-effective actions like methodically switching all your lighting to modern LED bulbs, diligently sealing drafts around all your doors and windows, or making the smart investment in a programmable or smart thermostat. More significant, but ultimately more impactful, upgrades such as replacing an old, inefficient furnace or dramatically improving your attic insulation can yield an even greater financial impact, potentially saving hundreds or even thousands of dollars annually on your utility bills. Many progressive utility companies across the U.S. also generously offer free energy audits to assess your home's efficiency or provide attractive rebates for qualified efficiency improvements, making these crucial upgrades even more financially accessible for homeowners. 6. Infrequent review of insurance policies. Insurance, whether it's for your vehicle, your cherished residence, or your vital health, is, without question, a fundamentally necessary and indispensable protection in modern life. However, a common and costly oversight is that many individuals simply maintain the exact same insurance policies for years, sometimes even decades, often inadvertently missing out on significant opportunities to optimize their coverage or substantially reduce their monthly or annual premiums. For instance, as your car ages and its market value naturally decreases over time, you might still be inadvertently paying for comprehensive collision coverage that no longer genuinely aligns with its current depreciated worth. Or perhaps your personal circumstances or driving habits have favorably changed. Maybe you're driving fewer miles, or your credit score has improved, and you now qualify for a significantly lower rate with your existing provider or a new one. The insurance market across the U.S. is fiercely competitive and constantly evolving, with new providers, innovative policy options, and dynamic pricing models emerging with remarkable regularity. Research consistently indicates that a vast number of consumers could potentially save hundreds of dollars annually, sometimes even thousands, by simply taking the initiative to compare quotes from different, reputable insurers. The objective here is not about recklessly cutting corners on genuinely essential protection, but rather about diligently ensuring you're receiving the absolute best value for your hard-earned money and that your coverage still accurately reflects your current needs. Make it a disciplined habit to dedicate at least an hour or two annually to meticulously review all your insurance policies. Proactively obtain competitive quotes from several different providers. Even if you ultimately decide to stick with your current insurer, having concrete competitive offers in hand can provide you with significant leverage to negotiate a better rate. This simple, annual exercise can demonstrably translate into genuinely significant savings that compound over time. 7. Delayed estate planning. This might, at first mention, seem like a somewhat somber or uncomfortable topic for discussion, but it is without a doubt a profoundly crucial and often underestimated aspect of comprehensive financial prudence, particularly as one naturally gets older and life's complexities increase. Failing to establish a clear, legally sound estate plan, which typically includes a meticulously drafted will, potentially a trust, durable powers of attorney for both financial and healthcare decisions, and clear healthcare directives, can regrettably lead to substantial financial and immense emotional burdens for your beloved ones during an already difficult and sensitive time. Without these essential legal documents firmly in place, your hard-earned assets might be subjected to the rigorous, often lengthy, and invariably costly legal process known as probate, where a court formally determines how your estate is ultimately distributed. This can result in significant legal fees, potential increases in estate taxes, and considerable delays in asset distribution, potentially diminishing the very inheritance you so carefully intend for your heirs. Beyond the purely financial implications, the profound absence of clear, legally binding directives can cause immense stress, protracted arguments, and deep discord among family members during an already emotionally taxing period. Studies, including those from organizations focused on elder affairs, suggest that a significant number of older adults in the U.S. still lack comprehensive estate plans, leading to avoidable complications upon their passing. Consulting with an experienced elder law attorney or a specialized estate planning professional can provide invaluable guidance, helping you to create a robust and legally sound plan that meticulously ensures your wishes are honored, minimizes taxes where legally permissible, and diligently protects your hard-earned legacy, thereby providing invaluable peace of mind for both you and your loving family. 8. Excessive reliance on traditional financial advisors. While it is true that many financial professionals offer genuinely valuable guidance and expertise, it's absolutely crucial for you, as the client, to thoroughly understand their compensation structure and any potential inherent biases that might influence their recommendations. Some traditional advisors, for instance, operate predominantly on a commission basis, meaning they earn a direct percentage or fee from the specific financial products they actively sell to you, such as mutual funds, annuities, or insurance policies. This compensation model, while common, can unfortunately create a subtle but significant conflict of interest, as their recommendations might be consciously or unconsciously influenced by the potential commission they stand to earn, rather than being solely driven by your absolute best financial interests. Conversely, fee-only financial planners charge a transparent, flat fee or an hourly rate for their advice, regardless of the particular investment products you ultimately choose to purchase. This latter model generally aligns their incentives far more closely and directly with your long-term financial well-being. This is not to imply that all commission-based advisors are inherently unethical or bad. Rather, it is vital to be fully aware of how they are compensated and to ask probing questions. Before engaging any financial advisor, diligently inquire about their precise fee structure, their relevant certifications, such as Certified Financial Planner or CFP, And most importantly, their fiduciary duty, which means they are legally and ethically obligated to act exclusively in your best interest. The financial landscape has undergone significant evolution, and there are now numerous accessible resources available, including sophisticated robo-advisors and highly cost-effective index funds that can empower you to effectively manage your investments without incurring excessively high advisory fees, which can, over decades, significantly eat into your overall investment returns. 9. Not adapting to technological advancements. In today's incredibly rapidly evolving world, technology consistently presents profound opportunities for both significant cost savings and dramatically improved financial management. However, a notable observation is that many older adults, unfortunately, resist or are slow to adopt new digital tools and platforms, potentially missing out on these substantial benefits. For example, modern online banking platforms, intuitive mobile payment applications, and comprehensive budgeting software can collectively streamline financial processes, drastically reduce cumbersome paperwork, and often provide far superior, real-time insights into your precise spending habits. Furthermore, utility companies, established banks, and numerous retailers frequently offer attractive discounts or compelling incentives specifically for opting into paperless billing or conducting transactions online. Beyond practical applications, the internet now provides a veritable wealth of free, high-quality educational resources on personal finance, ranging from reputable financial news outlets to vital government consumer protection agencies. While the initial learning curve might seem somewhat steep or intimidating at first, the long-term benefits in terms of unparalleled convenience, enhanced efficiency, and considerable cost savings can be truly substantial. Many progressive community centers and local libraries across the U.S. actively offer free classes and workshops on basic computer and internet skills, specifically catering to seniors and those new to technology. Embracing these powerful technological tools can genuinely empower you to manage your finances with greater efficacy, avoid unnecessary fees associated with manual processes, and ultimately gain better control over your financial destiny. 10. Neglecting social engagement and community involvement. This might once again appear to be a deviation from purely financial topics, but pervasive isolation and a marked lack of consistent social interaction can, in fact, have profound, albeit indirect, but highly significant financial repercussions. Chronic loneliness and social disengagement can directly lead to increased healthcare costs due to a heightened susceptibility to various mental health issues, such as clinical depression and debilitating anxiety, and even contribute to the onset or worsening of physical ailments. Furthermore, maintaining active social lives and robust community involvement often naturally presents opportunities for shared, low-cost activities, meaningful volunteering experiences, and the development of strong, mutually supportive networks, all of which can be far more cost-effective and emotionally enriching than solitary, often expensive, pursuits. Consider the multifaceted benefits of local community centers, vibrant senior groups, and dedicated volunteer organizations. These invaluable resources often provide a wide array of low-cost or entirely free activities, actively foster a profound sense of belonging and purpose, and can even lead to the formation of informal support networks that reduce reliance on costly paid services or professional assistance. Recent comprehensive studies, including those conducted by the respected National Institute on Aging, have emphatically underscored the profound and undeniable link between consistent social connectivity and overall holistic well-being. which demonstrably includes financial health and resilience. Therefore, maintaining a vibrant, engaged social life isn't merely about enjoyment or passing the time. It's a strategic, long-term investment in your comprehensive, holistic well-being, which ultimately and undeniably contributes significantly to your enduring financial resilience and overall quality of life.